All right, so first just tell me your name and how long you've lived in the Cahaba Project.
I'm Susie Scott Adkins, and I'll be 64 this summer, and other than 6 months of my life, I've lived in the project the whole time.
Wow, what do you love most about this neighborhood?
Well, I have such an emotional attachment from my childhood, and my sisters grew up here too, and our whole life has been rooted right here in the project. My mom passed away a year and a half ago, and she was here for many, many, many years. She worked at the elementary school. Her name was Edna Scott, and practically every child that came out of the elementary school knew my mother. So it's just a wonderful neighborhood. It's a true community. It's a true neighborhood.
Specifically to your house, you've been here, like you said, almost your entire life. What do you love most about this house specifically?
Well, basically, we've kept everything original. There have been updates. Dining room was added on, a large laundry room was added on. My husband and I recently built a new garage, but we built it, period specific to these houses. We're about to start on a major renovation, and we're trying to keep everything as period specific as possible. We're going to reuse everything we can. This house has the original maple countertops, so we will be incorporating those into the kitchen and just trying to keep it as historically accurate as possible.
Being here for, basically your entire life, I mean, what are some of the best memories here? I mean, I know there's got to be a lot, but what stands out to you?
4th of July on the mall, the barbecues, swimming at the pool, playing in the Cahaba. We always walked to school, even though my mother was going to the same school to work. We walked because that was our social time. As we walked, we picked up more and more people, and that was just, we weren't about to get in a car and ride when we could have a social event going to school every day. So just all the things that went on back in old Trussville, we were always a part of it.
What do you think, or what do you hope is the future of this neighborhood? I mean, being here that long, what do you want to see in the future here?
Well, I would like to see people try to keep the houses as they were in the beginning. If you're going to change something like we're doing, we're changing to the rear of our house to leave the front facade as historically accurate as possible. Each to his own, but I choose to have this house looking like it did basically in 1936.
Anything else you want to add? Any other memories or anything that stands out?
Well, I have two sisters, Margie and Linda Scott, and originally we lived, not me, I wasn't born at that time, but they lived across the street from where we are now. My dad got transferred to Montgomery, so we were gone about a year, came back, lived on the mall 6 months, and from the time I was a year old, I've been right here. This was always the house where everybody knew they could come. My mother was strict, but she let everybody have a good time. And in Trussville back then, your mother didn't have to know where you were. She could just about holler your name or look down the street one way or the other and find the group of kids, and you know where your children were. Some of the women had a great system going. There were about 4 of them right in this neighborhood. One cooked supper for everybody. One did all the ironing for the families. One ran carpool, and I don't remember what the other one did, but they had it all divided out where they could change it up, and it was nothing for you not to know even at midnight where your kids were, because we knew we would sleep on the front porch. We were never afraid, but it was just such a utopian childhood, and I didn't realize that until I was grown.
And I'm sure that over the years, I mean, living here that long, I'm sure at some point you could have, or maybe you did have the opportunity to move somewhere else. Why did you stay?
Well, I've never gone far from Trussville. And if anybody ever asked me, where are you from? I didn't say right where I lived right then. It was always, oh, I'm from Trussville, because my life is just rooted here. So.